I worked with like more than 12 startups, helping
Wow.
them with their product roadmaps, helping them transition to AI first strategy, building MVPs. You see clickbaity, are people losing jobs? Is SaaS dead? You have all these kind of clickbaity things, which causes a lot of FOMO
Yes.
into people saying that, hey, how do I catch up? How do I build my agent? If one person says, I have done something like this, everybody latches onto him. Can you tell me how did you do it, right? So the primary feeling is confusion and the fear of missing out, right? But I think one thing everybody understands now is that they need to upskill. We cannot AI proof ourselves.
Right.
We all are in an era where we have to coexist. Today, for example, a very new breed of entrepreneurs that I see is that तुम मुझे बताओ, I will make agent for you. Make use of the technology which is there out there to validate your ideas, move quickly, find out what are those experiments that are succeeding, not succeeding. I think with this whole vibe coding, your 0 to 1 has become super easy.
Absolutely, which means quick research, quick hypothesis. We are basically working on multiple ideas through this, and we are probably able to understand that we don't want to invest here.
Correct.
Our time, we want to
Exactly.
invest here, right?
Exactly.
So that's really vibe coding is very helpful in terms of the initial ideation phase of a product.
Correct. Before you jump in, what are the use cases that you share? You need to apply that critical lens that what does it even take to become AI first? The kind of problems that you should take should be able to transform 10x. Software is something different. It's a very different beast, right? You talk about security, you talk about data privacy,
I agree.
scalability.
Right.
So, at least as of today, I don't see that the vibe coding is able to achieve an enterprise level, but it has definitely
Chances are there.
changed. Yeah, it has definitely changed the way we operate at a 0 to 1. Interestingly, when I had my first AI batch, this was 1.5 years back, 2 people of the batch of 10 people were more than 60 years old. So I think that AI has kind of made it's a very level playing field. Anybody who is willing to roll up their hands, play around with the products, play around with the technology, they are definitely going to have an edge over it.
First of all, I would really like to welcome Malti here in AI Tank and in Xtrans Metrics. Thanks for coming here. I know a little bit about you, that you are in the product world. There is a common friend who did spoke about you probably 3 months back, actually, when you probably visited Indian Institute of Sciences, I think, actually. Or if you have not visited, you have met him or something like that.
Yes, that's right.
Why don't you introduce yourself, please? Right.
Sure. Thank you, first of all, Vikas, for having me here. So I'm basically now, it's been 25 years. This is my 25th year of
Right.
building products. Tech products is all my experience. And I worked in large B2B companies like SAP, Intuit, PayPal.
Wow.
And yeah,
PayPal, which year?
this was the COVID year.
We'll talk.
Sure. So then last 6-7 years I have been kind of pro bono working with a lot of startups, advising them on product strategies and stuff like that, and that was kind of introduced the curiosity, maybe I can do something of my own. So then I ventured into the solopreneurship journey 3 years back.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And now last 3 years, I worked with like more than 12 startups, helping
Wow.
them with their product roadmaps, building their first product, helping them transition to AI first strategy. So there is a lot around product, building MVP, setting up their team, upskilling their teams that I work with startups and large organizations. Interestingly, this is also a time when a lot of large organizations want to become tech first. Right? So there is a lot of digital transformation goes over there. So that's what primarily I do. Beyond that, I'm a visiting faculty at multiple B schools where I teach product management, AI related courses. And beyond all that, I'm also a podcaster.
Baldi, so nice to have you here. We have a little common persona actually, right? I'm also writer of IC Agile Product Management Certification.
Oh,
I was
okay.
one of the guy who was initiated and the subject matter expertise in SAFe APM.
Oh,
I
okay.
worked with Luke Hoffman for long, visiting consulting in large organizations, which is started reducing last 4-5 years, considering I became an entrepreneur.
Right.
I was in PayPal. I was with McKinsey in PayPal during COVID time when they were basically running a whole product management large program worldwide. See, Malti, I think what I am understanding about you is that someone who is actually building future products, right? and who has built the past products and who is also into education,
Correct.
right? Which is amazing.
Thank you.
So I'll be probably, start with this. We are also AI first company, right? We do talk about AI first
Yes.
company, right? We do talk about human in AI loop and all those kind of stuff. What is your gesture towards AI first actually, right? What you would like to say?
So, see, I think AI as a technology, while it has existed for a long time, I think, but the most recent changes, whether it is the compute power, whether it is the availability of big data, has centrally put it in the center of the piece. And now, so the main thing which I would say is that it is definitely like a superpower and a very important milestone, I think, in the human evolution, as much as like electricity or some of the other.
Yes.
Right? But I think before everybody just jumps in saying that we want to become AI first, I think it is very important to understand that do you really need AI, right? Because as AI is in a very, very initial evolution phase, there are too many unknowns. The risks are still very high. The cost of implementation is also very high.
Very high, very
right?
high.
So I would say that I think before any organization jumps in saying that we want to become AI first, I'm sure if you don't do it, you'll become irrelevant for sure. But before you jump in, what are the use cases that you say? You need to apply that critical lens that what does it even take to become AI first? Do we have the right use cases? And not only that, you will not get the result, let's say 3 months down the line, right? And the kind of problems that you should take should be able to transform 10x. So I think there is a lot of awareness, understanding that needs to be kind of seeped in every level of the organization as any organization embraces this journey.
So what you are saying, Malti, is that, at an organization, there has to be a clear awareness before moving towards
Correct.
where we wanted to go, right?
Exactly.
As we do say, you should have a vision and then you think about your
Correct.
goals kind of a thing,
Correct.
right? Perfectly fine, right? What you have seen, because you do have a reasonable experience working with the enterprises, large enterprises, as well as now you are saying startup, right?
Right.
So when you really talk about SME, when you're talking, so what is your take? And specifically, I would love if you talk about India a little bit.
Sure. So I think at this point of time, startups, or instead of saying startups, I would say digital natives definitely have an advantage.
I will start using this word. चुरा लिया मैंने.
Yeah, definitely. Whether it is global, whether it is in India, whether it is the Gen Zs who are again a very digital native generation, or you talk about startups which are again born in, let's say, or for that matter, I would say even the big techs which came in the internet
Yes.
zone, right? They are definitely at an advantage because they already have the thought process is already conditioned. The data that they need is already there, and they have made that first mover advantage, right? Which they have there. So definitely they are ahead of the game. But I would say also that definitely across all levels of companies, they are also trying to see I would say if you look at the McKinsey data or any research data, right, 2022 is when ChatGPT kind of literally
Yes.
democratized this, right? The number of investments across any sector, of course, I would say, I think telecom, healthcare, retail, these are some of the industry, financial services where
Yes.
the investments across companies have zoomed up. But if you look at ROI from 22 to 2025, it is slightly becoming better, right? Because initially it was more like an exploratory. Oh my God, now I have the superpower of Gen AI. What do I do it? There were some low-hanging fruits, marketing may, and all people just started doing
Right,
that.
right.
But then they started becoming more aware. They started understanding what it cannot do. The certain myths were broken. So now I would say, I think the POC to production numbers are gradually improving, right? That also goes back to the previous thing that I was saying, that the awareness is becoming better.
I think I do agree with that with some data actually from my side, right? We do have POCs to conversions more actually. This is what you are
Correct.
meant,
Correct.
right? Because we do only work towards human in the loop
Correct.
AI work, right?
Correct.
I think this is something which you spoke about, right, towards an organization and enterprises.
Right.
You do touch a lot of human individual souls
Absolutely.
with respect to going to institutes, as you mentioned,
Right.
which means Gen Z and tomorrow's future of employees or future of workers or whatever future of, I don't know what
Yeah.
name we will give. And a lot of people who are starting their career right altogether. What is your take on that? What do you want it to say? Where they are? What they need to do? I would love to listen from a
Yeah.
coach mindset now.
Yes, yes. So I have been talking to people, whether, somebody 50-year-old and heading an entire
Yes.
organization, especially in India, or somebody who's just getting into their MBA versus somebody who's, let's say, their early careers. The primary emotion, because is confusion,
It is.
right? And the second one I would say is overwhelmed.
Confusion and overwhelmed. That's what you generally. Yeah,
Exactly,
I
right?
do
Because
agree.
I mean, look at it, right? Every single week, and especially you look at some of these big techs, they have new announcement coming up every day.
Yes.
You see clickbaity, unfortunately, media and the social media has also big time, I would say, hyped it up. Are people losing jobs? Is SaaS dead? You have all these kind of clickbaity things, which causes a lot of FOMO
Yes.
into people saying that, hey, how do I catch up? How do I build my agent? I'm into these multiple conversations, groups where people are saying that, have you done this? If one person says, I have done something like this, everybody latches onto him. Can you tell me how did you do it, right? So the primary feeling is confusion and the fear of missing out, right? But I think one thing everybody understands now is that they need to upskill, because there is this whole saying which is going, right? If you do not onboard to the AI train, then somebody else who has already onboarded the train is going to go ahead of you.
So upskilling is one thing which you are actually talking to people who are already in the industry.
Absolutely.
And maybe learnability is something which you are actually
Absolutely.
giving in.
Interestingly, when I had my first AI batch, this was 1.5 years back, 2 people of the batch of 10 people were more than 60 years old. So I think what I would say is that AI has kind of made it's a very level playing field.
Yes.
Anybody who is willing to roll up their hands, play around with the products, play around with the technology, they are definitely going to have an edge over it.
I'll probably even add here. I'm 50, by the way, right? I do feel by age we lose reflexes, but at the same time, our context towards a prompt is far better considering our
Absolutely.
experience. Now, if we really mix and marriage towards that, it's really, 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 we could do.
Absolutely.
But again, we need to always say that we are very young.
Absolutely. I think it's all in the mind.
It's all the mind. Right? So I think, you did spoke about overwhelmness and confusion actually, right? A lot of people are just now going to join organizations. I also see that when we really talk about what's happening in industry, it's not written when we really talk about vibe coder, right? Which is a 2025 word, came in 2024. Nobody knows, not many people know about that. Parents doesn't know. Right? Even, let me tell you, a lot of educationists also doesn't know. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about a lot of
that's
lecturers
true.
and all, right? Yeah. When we talk about AI operator, prompt engineers, all these things are yet strengthening, right? What is your advice to these students who are going to join organizations, right?
See, I think one thing which I really have to say, this generation, which is probably because it is tech native, right? Their comfort with learning new things is already at a high.
That's positive.
Right?
That's positive.
They are highly adaptable, already open to learn.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I think, look at these days, you have great kids in grade 11 and 12 trying for internships.
I'll show you a few who are here actually.
Exactly,
8th
right?
class. Okay.
Right. Okay, that's even more younger, right? So I think that's not a problem. But I think what needs to be done, and this is probably my personal view, that while AI should be used more as a co-pilot, AI cannot replace your human intelligence.
Yes.
Right? So sometimes I do feel, especially when I get the submissions from some students, that they do not take that effort to put their thoughts first and then use AI only to augment it. Sometimes what they do is that they delegate their entire thought process to AI, let it think and then come back, and then I will augment on top of that. I think that should not be the process.
Which is very exciting actually what you are saying. As you do and even I go and I do talk about create your roadmaps, write your vision, strategy, and have your one pager done, right, all together.
Correct.
And then I give the tasks to product managers, and I end up seeing that, yeah, तुमने तो सिर्फ prompt use किया and you have not used
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
Use it as a secondary research kind of a thing, right?
Exactly.
Or probably for primary thing, you need to use your own
Correct.
mindset, right?
Correct.
Because it's yet not, it's all, even biased. Right? Yeah.
See how in a baby you say that it is
Yeah.
important to give the motor skills exposure to the kid. Similarly, when these early career minds are stepping into this, they need to develop those muscles. They need to create those neural paths into their own mind. That how should we think? How do we look at that? So if they do not do that primary thinking themselves, they are not able to build those muscles. As you said, while you and I have worked in the industry for 20, 25 years, one thing which we own, which will probably never go away, is the muscle that we have built
yes.
to get the context very quickly.
Yes.
Right? For example, when I go to meet a startup, all it takes me is like 15 minutes to gauge what they have done. And this is all because of the past experiences.
Personification,
Exactly.
empathization, and
Yes.
quickly you do it, right?
Right. So that has become a muscle memory for me now. So it's like, when you start driving, you will be always looking at the rear view mirror, you'll be looking at steering, you'll be looking at the brakes. But after 1 year, do you ever look at the gearbox? Do you ever look at, you start driving probably with one hand.
Exactly.
So you need to build that sense, product sense. And that will only happen when you start thinking, when you build those neural networks in your mind, not help only OpenAI build those neural networks.
No, I think I'm really, really glad what you are basically coming up, right? With this, I will probably ask one more question. Now, this is human in the loop AI. It is not dying. In fact, it is basically evolving. We do work mostly towards that front. Right? What are the skills? Some of the skills, because this is true that probably less than 1% of people will create AI.
Right.
Right? But most of 99% will be use AI actually,
Correct.
right? They are also part of AI.
Correct.
What do you want to say to these youngsters, right? What are the skills which they need to, more elaborate for their,
Right.
what is your
See,
sense?
when you talk about human in the loop, again, it is kind of very contextual to the
Yes.
industry or the process for which
Yes.
you are applying this, right? So I do believe one thing which will continue to keep people more relevant and to be able to do what the machine cannot do is develop domain expertise.
Yes.
Right?
Subject matter expertise, yes.
Exactly. Develop those mental models which helps you to take those decisions when an AI is not able to do it because it's a new use case or because it doesn't have enough data to take that cognitive decisions. For example, use cases in, let's say, cancer detection.
Yes.
Use cases in, let's say, financial services. These require, think about an auditor who has been auditing companies for 30 years. No amount of training can you do an oversight with a machine.
Balti, the same discussion I had with my auditor a week back, and he has probably gone to an AI seminar or conference, and he says ki, sir, ye to hum badal jayenge. And I said, no, you have reasonable good experience right altogether, right? So no, it's a truth.
It's a truth. Again, as I'm saying that, they need to look at it how to use AI very effectively as a
Right.
co-pilot,
Sure.
as a buddy, right? So use it in that mode. So
Be friend with
be
it.
friend with it, because we cannot AI proof ourselves. We all are in an era where we have to coexist. So let's leverage the goodness of what AI can offer, but develop some strong modes. That mode could be your communication. That mode could be your analytical skills. That mode could be your decision making. That mode could be your subject matter expertise. That mode could be just to, as an operator, how you can, help people multiply. Today, for example, a very new breed of entrepreneurs that I see is that, "Tum mujhe batao, I will make agent for you."
Right.
Right? There are people who have gone into a rabbit hole, done agents and stuff like that. And today all they do is that the new business model is that I will make agents for you. And there are all kind of people. There are coaches who want their digital twins. There are companies who wants...
I'm one.
Yeah, exactly, right? So there are new use cases evolving.
I would also like to ask one more question actually, considering your you are someone who is coaching entrepreneurs as well as you are from a product world and AI. This mix of three is not easy. I know that. And that's why I would really see in past Malti, we had a typical way of creating an MVP, right? And MVP has changed multiple times, right, altogether, right?
Correct.
Since last a year or so, see, I'm very heavily having friend circle in the Bay Area part of it, right? You know, where, and with the vibe coding, this whole MVP is also, and prototyping in the product world is also changing, right? What exactly you would like to say to the people who will listen from a product standpoint?
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, right, just make use of the technology which is there out there to validate your ideas, move quickly, find out what are those experiments that are succeeding, not succeeding. I mean, I think with this whole vibe coding, your 0 to 1 has become super easy. That helps organizations to take
0
decisions.
to 1 is very easy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Which means quick research, quick hypothesis.
Something which would earlier take maybe few weeks,
Yes.
now you do it in few hours.
Yes. Yes.
But I think the road after that is still bumpy.
Still bumpy, right?
Right?
0 to 1, then 1 to 3 to 3 to 30 is still.
I think, but the way these models or the way the new products that are coming in, maybe in the next, I don't know, 1 year seems to say too long now. Maybe in the next few months, maybe this 1 to 10, building code at enterprise level might also become reality. See, today I have huge doubt when a company says 30% of my code is generated by AI, especially if it is a large.
I have some data which I will speak.
Okay,
Right? But
okay.
I don't know. I cannot validate it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I am very critical about it because enterprise grade software is something different. It's a very different beast, right? You talk about security, you talk about data privacy.
I agree.
Scalability.
Right.
So, at least as of today, if I can say this week, I don't see that the vibe coding is able to achieve an enterprise level, but it has definitely
Chances are there.
changed. Yeah, it has definitely changed the way we operate at a 0 to 1 level.
So I'll probably, add up to that, right? What we do specifically, we do have a whole product team, right? This vibe coding and what we are talking about, that is helping us in terms of, unlocking an idea quickly, right?
Correct.
We are basically working on multiple ideas through this, and we are probably able to, understand that, we don't want to invest here.
Correct.
Our time. We want to
Exactly.
invest here, right?
Exactly.
So that's really, vibe coding is very helpful in terms of the initial ideation phase of a product
Correct.
at this moment. Malti, it is so amazing talking to you. I thought, we should not basically close this conversation. I would love to have a continue sessions with you, probably on certain themes.
Sure.
Considering you are so experienced, you are meeting with so many entrepreneurs at this moment. I would again thank you for coming on AI Tank,
Thank you.
right?
Pleasure is all
Pleasure
mine.
meeting with you, right? We have met 5 minutes before, but I felt that we are knowing each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.